Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. I don't want to put on. I'll chime in too. Sure, absolutely. My name's Jason Gasson. I'm the founder of Your Tech Pro, which is an online marketplace for freelance technology services. We cater to individuals and businesses. So you can kind of think of us as like a Thumbtack or Upwork, but we focus specifically on technology. So you can come to us and you can find like a biomedical technician, or we have FAA certified drone pilots, things of that sort. So all your regular stuff like graphic design, photography, software engineers, support engineers, people like that. But you can also find those other quirky roles that you wouldn't find on those other type of sites. Correct. Yes. Yeah, yeah, right on the shirt. Your Tech Pro. URTECPRO.com. And okay. Mhm. Okay. Right. Mhm. Right. I mean, in regards to the wireless issue that you're having, I know I sent you like an email with like a host of different little things to try. Um, you're probably operating off of probably a 2.4 gigahertz wireless network. Okay. But on that 2.4 gigahertz frequency, there's so many other things that's could be causing interference, microwaves, garage door openers, baby monitors, stuff like that. You have a problem, put it right on top, huh? Yeah. I mean, right. I mean, something that you can probably check out. I didn't put this in the email when I sent it to you. Is in regards to a lot of ISPs, a lot of the more modern day routers. You can actually define which frequency you want to be on. So you have the 2.4 gigahertz, which is more popular, and then you also have the 5 gigahertz, which is available too. The 5 gigahertz offers more speed, but the range is not as good as 2.4. Okay. And is you're talking about accessing it from your laptop? Is your laptop older, newer? Okay. Yeah, that's recent. Okay. Gateway going back a little bit. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sure. Mm. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Lenovo.
Lenovo. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
what I
okay.
was gonna say, you can look at like OfferUp or Let Go, and you can find
Yeah.
stuff like a brand new gaming Lenovo, or it's an Idea Center with like a cracked LCD. You replace the LCD with an Acer. It's a 13-inch. Combine the two, and you get a $2,000 laptop for maybe $300, and that'll last you through college. So those are options too.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's when you
scary
set up a
stuff.
back door that you can get into, and then you install a rat, like log me in, so you can hop in and help your grandma out later on.
Mhm.
Ah, yeah, unless you want me to send you a bill, that is.
Yeah, right.
A bill and cookies.
Mhm. Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Mm.
Ah, okay. Wow.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
been fortunate. My grandfather's been working for Bell South for about 40 or 50 years, so I don't have to worry about it so much on that end of things. But my dad's in the military. Every time I go over there, hey son, can you look at this card reader for two authentication? Can you do this with
Always,
my
yes.
VPN? Can you set up this? And it's like, oh, come on,
Yep,
dad.
yeah.
Oh yeah, well, unless I'm your tech pro, because I'll come and I'll touch all your stuff if you want.
Right. Remotely.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
now, given the circumstances.
Maybe a little bit of both. I got some cleaning
Yeah,
my
yeah,
place. So.
maybe. Come there with some gloves on.
Oh wow. It's understandable. I got a young family. My great grandmother's still alive, so yeah, she's gonna be close to 100 soon. But she lives with like my grandmother's sisters and stuff, so they're all old out in the middle of like Tennessee. So they're on their own little farm thing anyway. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Cabin fever. Huh? They really wanted to get it out.
climbing the walls.
Yeah. Was that
Where
okay?
you go to retire.
Yeah.
St. Augustine, Tampa's kind of
Tampa.
like that.
Yeah, Tampa. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm too old for all this crap. Let me filter my language. I've not lived long enough. I don't care.
I had a full life.
But it isn't considered to the other elderly though, so I catch 22. Oh yeah, you can get a button from Amazon that you can poop, and now I got some freaking laundry on my doorstep. Yeah, you can
Hmm.
program it for anything, so you don't even got to leave the house. And a lot of your groceries now you can ship from. You can go to Walmart, you can order online, park out back, they'll bring it to you. You ain't gonna get out your car.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to avoid any kind of contact or anything. As far as your Wi-Fi goes, how old is your house, sir? Yeah. Okay, so it's around right past lead paint and all the asbestos and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm getting at with that though is that like, here's a good example. I had a customer who worked with Coke in Atlanta, and he's basically got a little mansion going on. But I mean, the crawl space you can walk into, like you can stand up. It's a crawl space that's like a basement basically. Either way, all of the walls had nothing but interference in them. So the 2.4 would not punch through that. 5 will, but it's got to be kind of a line of sight to what you're trying to connect to. So if your PC's here, you're over here. You can't be over here. Microwaves, all that stuff operates on the same frequency as 2.4. So that throws a lot of that interference that you see there, even though it can throw further, but there's different channels that y'all are talking about. So you could run the 5 gigahertz, which is most new routers have it enabled by default. It replicates your settings, and then you just got to turn it on. So if you go into the main page, go down to wireless setup, and then look for 5 gigahertz, you can kick it on. It'll have a different name than your 2.5, and then probably the same path. And so you can try it with different devices, but the moral of the story is that it really depends on how your house is set up, where you've got your hotspots at, what kind of interference you got going on. A lot of times, if you really want to fix that issue, what you do is you install a mesh or you install an extender. You can get an extender for about $40 on Amazon. Uh, about $40. I mean, you can go. That's your middle of the range, kind of regular, typical residential cost, up to like 200. You'll plug into it with your laptop through a hard connection, and then you'll tell it what Wi-Fi to bounce off of, which will be your typical router. Once you do that, you can disconnect and then connect to it and test it. And you can put that extender about like 30 foot away from your regular one. And you can either have multiple different names, or if they support mesh capability, you can have one big name to where it'll be adaptive. So once you start traveling from one, it sends a signal over to this guy, says, oh, now I need to pick it up. Transfers the MAC address, you pick up here and keep going.
Right. It's creating an extended service set. So ESS, yeah. So that's the.
Well, you would see the name of one Wi-Fi and then another one that's similar and then another one that's similar, or
Uh-huh.
oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you can see like your burst speeds. That depends on what you're paying for. What you'll also see on most Wi-Fi devices called QoS, quality of service. So when you connect to a device and you try to do like a big download, you'll get a burst, and then it'll see where you're doing. It'll level you out. You go down, it can do this bit right here, and come down, and do this bit right here. Okay. So it's not your ISP. So it could be your actual router that could be limiting you to a degree there. Like I said, that
Similarity.
could be the issue.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Who's your
you're
ISP?
yeah, right. Okay.
Mhm.
Probably.
Yeah.
You probably already paid for it 4 or 5 times now if it's 8 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you call them, they'll give you a new one, and it'll have better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all you do is call and ask about it. Tell them, "Hey, I've got my own equipment. Can I go ahead and get a shipping label? They'll send you one in the mail or email it to you. Print it out, throw it on there, ship it back, no problem." And as far as replicating the settings go, a lot of times it depends. If you have like a combo modem/router, then you could put something behind it that you control, but you still got to pay that usually that fee unless you paid extra to get the Wi-Fi. It really depends. There's still an equipment leasing fee regardless. Really depends on what you're looking for because DSL is direct subscriber line, so you get a guaranteed up and down rate at all times. Whereas cable,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be now.
It's
If you're
supposed
not,
to. Yeah.
yeah, you've got an issue because DSL you don't share, right?
Right.
Okay. That That's something you may want to bring up with your ISP because you are, per the SLA, your service level agreement, guaranteed a certain down and up rate with DSL. And it's supposed to be separate and not contingent on your neighbors, whereas cable, there's a clause in there that says this is based off your complete throughput for the pipe the cable travels along, whereas DSL's copper lines running next. You can still have, um, okay, I was
No,
about to
no.
say, because I know those words, they work in storage industry, but they don't work here. So, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So it works in there
Yeah.
somewhere, but not here. But yeah, it's the DSL. It should be guaranteed up and down. Cable, you can get this high, but it shouldn't drop below a certain point, depending on usage and all that.
Right.
So cable's better, in my opinion, for me, because I can get a better total throughput, and I could pay for 500 down. Whereas DSL, you got to start running into like you got to bond them. You have to have bonded like T1s, which is basically DSL is across the copper to get up to the same speed as cable. So you have to have multiple modems and all that. So I'm actually using an Xfinity hotspot right now through my work account. Essentially, what it is so do you remember Hux, right? HuxNet. So similar to that, or there was another open source based project that was supposed to supply like mesh based, like we were just talking about, APs across neighborhoods and connect them and stuff for free. It's the same thing, except it's on the back end of the routers that they're paying for and they're leasing. But in the clause there, you pay a little bit less per month if you allow them to use your equipment to bounce that spot out to people like me or work accounts to pay the. Yeah. So a lot of people don't like that. They especially didn't like it at first because Comcast didn't tell you they were doing it. That was a problem. Yeah, they didn't tell you at first, and then
Right.
they were saying, "Well, we may or may not do it. We won't tell you for sure." And then people like me were getting in and being like, "What is this noise?" So,
Mhm.
but now it's part of the contract. Yeah, they call that the dark net, right? Deep
The
net,
dark net. Yeah.
subnet.
Right.
Let me go get my hoodie and pull it over real quick.
Yeah. Right.
Um, DDWRT.
Mm.
Yep, the old bunny ears, the purple ones. You install it. It's called DDWRT. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I caught mine on fire once. I caught one on fire once. You can actually like tell it to use all of the processor, and there's not enough heat sink on those old routers.
Oof.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll start running hot, and you can actually melt it. And if you stack them like I did, you can turn. It'll catch fire. But you can. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. You
You
can.
can.
It's still a project. It's actually still in the works. It's still actively being developed. You can take DDWRT and uh, DDs and dog, W's and walrus, R's and Rico, T's and Tom. DDWRT. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So, but now newer routers, if you look at the box on Walmart, you can actually look at it and see DDWRT ready. So they still do it, and that's yeah, it's ready to be flashed. Yeah,
Flashed.
yeah. It's like rooting your cell phone. It's the same thing. You're basically rooting the device and unlocking everything they had behind a paywall for commercial people before.
Mhm.
So yeah, I do that a
Yeah.
lot too.
So many projects.
Yeah, they do have little speakers in them from the old modems days, so you might be able to do something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Alternatively, now you actually what you do is you do a hotspot. You can do hotspot shield, or like you roll up into a place, you connect to their Wi-Fi, it automatically connects. You go to browse, and instead of actually going anywhere, it goes to their landing page, and then they make their advertisement, and you plug in the little thing, check the box, and say okay. So that's kind of what that is now. And DDWRT does support that. So for business,
Sure.
okay, yeah,
Mhm.
wherever you can make a nickel.
That's right.
Oh wow, really?
Mhm. Mhm. Right. Okay. Yeah, right.
Well, this could be a good, dipping our toes into it and seeing what kind of like topics we want to bring up and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. I mean, we right.
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Sure. Yeah. I right. Okay, you did. Okay. Yeah. No, we for this here, we pretty much selected some topics we are going to go over, and we can change this. It's totally flexible, of course, but we're going to go over like work and home environment, hardware setup, remote tools that's available for you guys to use. Because a lot of these guys, a lot of the big tech companies, they're offering all these extended free trials, because of the virus and everyone's working from home, so they're extending their trials and stuff. Working. What's that? What about them? I haven't lately. No. Really? That's interesting. Okay. Okay. Right. Uh,
Oh wow.
Going through that situation like that British guy did with his kids coming in on his meeting. Remember that? Oh, okay.
Well,
Right. Oh yeah, yeah, and then again, going back to some of the topics we are going to go over hardware, something as simple as talking about UPS, a lot of people don't know what a UPS is or how it really works or, which side to plug your devices in. A lot of people just plug it in on the surge side. And if it's like, say, your router or something, you don't want that on the surge side. You want to put that on the battery backup side. And you have to, make sure your battery backup is current. Yeah.
The
If it
laptop's
goes
got
down, it goes down. Hey. Mhm. Uh, okay.
a Mac.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, you
Yeah.
gotta have backups of your backups if you
Backups
actually
and
want to
backups.
have a backup.
Right.
So for every two, you only got one. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And the laptop's got it built in, so you ain't got to worry about what the uninterruptible power supply that you have
Right.
on your desk is doing or not.
Right.
Usually, you just lose your monitors and all that. And just plug it in. Scratch.
No, I'm not familiar.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. That's pretty
Oh
cool.
wow.
I know I was looking at another project that was Linux based, where you could get your kids like a laptop set and they piece it together, and they learn coding languages based on top of that. I think Scratch was a part of that. I'm not sure. Um, Great for kids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
Ubuntu provides a live boot right now that you could do off disk
Mhm.
or USB, and it's really easy to
Right.
make, and it's also uncrackable. I mean, you pull it out, it's a live image. What it does is when you boot it up, it actually loads the OS and everything that you've done before every single. There's a changes.img file in there that never changes. It's like a deep freeze for Windows, but Linux.
Right.
Um, to a degree, there's a lot of UI advances that have been made as far as Linux goes. So Ubuntu Desktop's one of them that is really easy to use. It looks just like your phone, just like this.
Mhm.
So and then when you start, Hmm. Oh yes, yeah,
Yeah.
you just download the tool from Ubuntu. It's right there on the side, or any other Linux distro really. Ubuntu is just more user friendly. I like Ubuntu for this.
Yep. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many different flavors, but okay. Hey, James.
I've been on probably seven or eight. I'm trying to become tech savvy. I'm not really tech savvy. I'm aware of all this.
Mhm.
But what I wanted to ask was, I'm ready to start putting my files, like one of you mentioned, on the cloud. On I'm running a PC here with Win 7, which I like. I got another one with Win 10. But it's time, as you said, to get your files off the PC and somewhere else to separate the problems. So, what about a comparison of Dropbox versus other cloud storage facilities for work at homes?
Okay. Jonathan.
So Jason and I actually talked about this not too long ago, just covering the topics that he'd put together for this discussion today. Um, They're all very similar. It really depends on your needs and what you're looking at, if your costs and all that kind of stuff. Because some have 5 gigs free, some have 10 gigs free, some have 20.
Mhm.
But you already have, for example, if you've got a Gmail, you already have a G Drive. If you've got a Hotmail or a Live.com or an MSN or whatever, you already have a OneDrive. And OneDrive integrates with Teams, Microsoft Exchange Online, all that kind of stuff. So they all have similar offerings. The only thing that I ever got confused on was Box and Dropbox. Those are two separate entities,
Yeah.
Box.com, Dropbox.com. But same thing. They both have desktop clients that'll sync a folder set for you that comes down into wherever you install it at. So, the nice thing about the Microsoft offering for you in particular is that you're already running Windows. It has a desktop cloud built in that'll show up underneath your C drive on the bottom left. It just says OneDrive. Shows up as a separate drive opposed to your local storage.
Yeah.
So all you gotta do is go into that guy, and it'll create a copy that's both online and offline.
Microsoft Teams interests me because it's a whole set of collaboration tools, right? And Google is comparative because they have many, so many apps. I mean, Google apps that run within the Google sphere. And I have worked with other guys on Google over the years, the last 5 years, editing documents together, passing documents through storage, but I've never become expert on it. But I consider Google clumsy and hard to use. Now, do you guys?
Not, I, not generally speaking. Again, maybe that's because I've been in the industry for like 20 plus years, so, but, I mean, Jonathan, what do you think in terms of Google using
So
Google products versus Microsoft? And
in all honestly, the two are kind of different when it comes to Teams specifically, because Teams is now what used to be Skype for Business. So Skype was purchased by Microsoft. It was rolled into their OneDrive package and then brought up as Teams. Teams was Microsoft's answer to Slack. So if you're
Mhm.
familiar with Microsoft, you're familiar with Office,
Yeah.
then it's not going to feel as clunky as maybe Google would. But Google has the same exact offerings. Their G Suite for Business, 5 to 10, 15, 20 employees, is really, it beats Microsoft out in cost. But you've got Google Docs, which has spreadsheets, Word documents, PowerPoints, all that kind of stuff. Just different names for them. It's just called Google Sheets instead of Excel. Same thing.
Mhm.
The formulas are even similar. The syntax is exactly the same on both Excel versus Google Sheets. The only difference is some of the built-in programming and automation that you can do in Microsoft is supported on the back end through VB, ASP, all that kind of stuff is not on Google. On Google, it's JavaScript. Everything's JavaScript based. So that's your key difference. And then in Google, your chat platform is Teams. Nobody's ever liked Teams. Everybody hates Teams. Not Teams, sorry. Hangouts. Everybody hates Hangouts.
Hangouts,
Nobody's
right?
ever
Yeah.
liked it. They never liked the
Isn't it,
Google Spot.
isn't it dead now? I thought it was
No, it's still
terminated.
there.
No, it's still around. It's
You
still.
log into Gmail, look on the bottom left there, you'll see a little spot for Google Hangouts.
Mhm.
Okay. Mhm.
Mhm.
Don't be evil.
Sure. Okay. Mhm. Mhm.
It's got an API integration for
Mhm.
Roku. Mhm.
Jeez. You mean,
They have to have an account
Account.
or
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah, anything with
That's true.
Google, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to have a Google account to access, to edit, to look at, to view, whatever. Go ahead.
Mhm.
And like I was saying, and that's the thing again, Microsoft's going to cost. That's your thing.
Right.
Dropbox, you get that like that percentage free, and it's always there. You don't have to worry about it. And like you said, you can share out links. Go ahead. Um, yeah, I got some horror stories about that too. You
Mm.
want to make sure you keep a backup. Make sure you keep a backup of your Google data because it doesn't take much for them to say, we don't like you. They'll lock it, and after a certain amount of time, it's
Okay,
gone.
but
So don't rely on.
that to me that is a major problem, that I run a risk of them zooking it like that. Um,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, anything
I
you put on the cloud's like that.
Mhm.
well, I don't mind paying, um, and I don't have any problem keeping my payments up. I mean, I'm not saying I'm wealthy. I'm saying they're on auto pay at $2, $4, $5 a month. It's never going to have a problem. Okay.
So Dropbox is a pure file storage platform. That's what
Right.
I,
I don't.
a lot of
Yeah.
cloak and dagger there. Anything that if you look at your EULA, even though they say that and no one person could ever read every EULA or TOS that they signed up for and still live, but yeah, oh yeah,
Jeez.
well
Yeah.
yeah, everything Google does is
Yeah.
tied into et cetera. So you've got that big issue there with the data. Well, I mean, they're based off an algorithm. I mean, they're a search engine. So
Mhm.
you are the product. That's why they're so cheap. Your data is what they sell. So you are the product.
You do. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's
They're,
on your phone and you're looking it up.
yeah.
Do you have
Mhm.
Alexa? Mhm. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yep. You're
Yeah.
the product, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get targeted ads on Facebook all the time. I'm like, what is that coming from? Turns out one of my kids is looking something up somewhere else. And my wife, she's looking for dresses. Now I got
Mhm.
lingerie.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it is. And it's in your TOS too. If you go back and actually look at any one of these particular services and read through it, it'll say somewhere you agree for us or you consent for us, our data, your data to be used in our search and algorithms, et cetera, et cetera. for marketing purposes. And you can turn it off. You could disable that, and a lot of stuff, Windows 10 especially, you need to make sure to do this. You can actually turn off all the telemetry data. That's what it's called, telemetry data. And that's where they collect. It's basically a keylogger on your laptop.
Yeah.
And you have to opt out of it.
It's basically what?
Like a key logger.
Key locker or
Logger.
logger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like old school days. Somebody would, plug a Trojan into your laptop or whatever, and they would record your keystrokes. That's kind of the same thing as what telemetry data. That's what Cortana and all of this like AI stuff is. It basically sees everything that you search or type in. It does, algorithms runs through it. It's not like somebody's human sitting there reading, oh, John said he's doing this, this, and that. It's more like, oh, well, John says this word a lot, or this shows up a lot in his searches. And then it does a weighted priority. And all I know this from some developer experience, but that's how that works. So they're not actually looking at you. But if the G-men were looking for you, they would actually look for you. And there's also some laws and checks and balances in place there too. So,
Right. Sure, that's fine. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. That's what we had ready to go, like do's and don'ts and stuff like
We
that.
did, but now it's 3:15.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're here to help.
Yeah.
Those are your best customers.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'll have a better headset too, and I won't be doing it from my living room floor.
Yes. Yeah, I received them.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do. So it's a little different.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Okay.
Well, I would just say it's been characteristic of a startup effort, and I'm not talking startup business, but I mean, had your share of technical problems, had our share of moderators, excuse me, who weren't accustomed to being moderators and being interviewed, and Dan asked them a simple question, and they take off for 5 minutes, has to break in. So it's that kind of stuff. So. That goes with the territory, Yeah, that's why I'm here. Yeah.
And spam.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
That was funny because you ended up sending me an email real quick, and in the email, the first thing you said is this your actual address still?" I was like, "Yeah." Mhm.
Yeah, it doesn't scale well.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, where'd the list come from? Have you vetted it? Have you run it through any of these list checkers? Because there's a bunch of
Right.
services for that that'll check it for you, make sure it's authentic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
will have a lot of false positives,
Yeah.
especially if you got an 80,000 list. So
Mhm.
mm, I haven't heard of reach mail.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
Well, that's the best time sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I've got some experience with that from my last enterprise I supported. Never Bounce is who I was thinking of. That's who we used. And that was we would use that if we got like say we had conventions, they would come back with like 300 emails. We would just throw that list at it for free and see what we came back with and put in Mailchimp. Yeah, we only made it up
Right,
to
right,
about
right.
15,000. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the largest list we
I,
had. So once you get past that,
um, I'm not. I'm following a conversation, but I have one question. And Dan, you said something like to this guy with the 800,000 emails. You're in the year 25 of a business or something like that. Okay. Okay.
mhm. There weren't all the laws in place.
Right.
Yep, there were no checks, RBLs.
These are federal regs? Oh, okay. Oh, what was that word? Better, oh, better services, better, you said. Yeah. No, why is there a problem getting through? I mean, what are they? Okay, who the hell is looking at those emails and making that determination?
Everybody, not just Google.
Yeah,
Yeah, every receiver, any organization that receives mail has some kind of spam filtering.
some filtering in place. Yeah.
Yep. And then each one of those things that Daniel just talked about, or Dan, sorry, adds weight to it. That means that it could be spam at the end of the day, and then it gets caught in your spam filter.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you know you're supposed to opt in some way? Yeah, like I said, I got experience with MailChimp. They do like the campaigns. They'll flag
Yeah.
your campaign. They'll flag the list, and you got to go through all the different things. And
Yep.
yeah, yeah, right.
Right.
Jeez.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To you in the response.
Ah,
Oh wow.
dang.
Mhm.
Yeah, start talking to you.
Right.
Yeah, I've done that. I'll start trying to see if somebody will reply. I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing today?" Okay. Yep. That sounds good. That's smart.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a smart service.
Lost your sound. Say again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got another month or two, it looks like.
Yeah, save a few bucks.
I'm familiar with that one.
I haven't used it.
Not I.
Yeah, it's do you want it to receive alerts on your device? So if you like
Alerts.
browse through your phone and something, this web page wants to alert you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and what's
This is
key is you have the
SMS.
option to opt out in the very beginning. As long as you have that option to say no, I don't want these, you're never going to.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you.
yeah. Mm,
Yeah, you really got to dig to get it out of Windows 10 too. It's in your notifications panel under like 3 different.
right. Right.
Yep. Yeah,
Right.
I actually I had a customer that had an issue with that once. It was the president of one of the companies that I was doing work for. He shoots me an email and it's like, John, how do I get rid of this? And it's a picture of a Viagra ad that came up while he was on one of these, but sharing his screen with $1 million deal. Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
It was Chrome. Yeah, it was Chrome that did it. It looked like it came up from Windows 10. I was like, oh, I don't know, man. Give me a second. I got to figure this one out. Make sure I didn't do that. That's not my fault. Yeah.
Now, when you say browser based, will it go on the mobile as well as the PC?
On the mobile.
Okay.
Yep. And then you have to go from there.
Okay.
I would feel like any kind of push, any kind of push is going to be segmented. It's going to be that way.
Yeah.
Because if you do the general purpose, that's when it doesn't hit the market that you want. But to answer your question, only
It's not
segment.
targeted. Yeah.
Yeah, because the push is only per the page where you land.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you
Mhm.
can disable it all together, or you can just do it per page. So.
Right.
Yeah. I can see where that would be a problem. You're just sitting there with your wife or whatever, or you're hey, look
Right.
at this picture, girlfriend. Okay, let me look at it. Oh, what is this? Samantha wants to talk. Who's Samantha?
Uh-oh, doghouse. Mhm. Okay. Sure.
Well, in the
I'll try
meantime,
to I'll try to come up with some questions.
Okay. Right. Distance learning, yeah. Yeah.
okay. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, that's real simple.
I gotta jump off. I gotta jump off. I got another call.
nice to
So,
meet you.
All right, James, take care.
okay, see you guys next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.
I do.
Me, I'm not a programmer. I don't consider myself a programmer. I dabble, but yeah, not enough to give myself that title. Mhm. Was it like something like a Raspberry Pi type of thing, or?
It is.
Mm,
It's just hardware.
mm,
Mhm.
mm.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
all it is a Linux shell with Mhm. Mhm.
A dog translator.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I guess you. I guess you guys have seen that movie Up, then, huh? A few times.
Not as sad, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
follow you. And
Yeah.
that's actually a pretty obtainable goal because the Arduino is a robotics kind of thing.
Mm,
So you can get the sensor for the gyroscope. You can get the biometric. Okay, so that's what you're missing.
mm.
Yeah. Well, any project like that's going to be that. If you ain't got the time for it, you might as well put it up on the shelf.
Right.
Just install a walkie-talkie underneath this collar and start talking into it.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh man. Well, that's why you got to do something like the walkie-talkie or a cell phone. Just plug it on the side,
Right.
strap it to them, and start talking into it. Hey, I'm happy. Roof, roof.
Yeah. It's in progress.
They got the voice modulators too. The apps you can install on your phone, so you can make it sound like a dog, like Scooby Doo. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe like,
Yeah. You got to be burnt out.
yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Mhm.
Hmm. Right. Oh yeah.
Same
No.
here. That's our industry. Is we're here to help, man, and I'm
Yeah.
always happy to help. So if you've got some industry contacts that have questions like you were talking about your Wi-Fi, or if you have commercial specific stuff that can lead into residential stuff, I'm happy to take those questions in a pre-format. I'll answer them through text, and then we can talk about them, work through them, and go that route too.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mhm. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and if
Yeah.
if I can have them kind of, we can work together to have them answered a little bit in advance, and collaborate. Yeah, yeah. We can give you a top
Right.
level overview.
Yep.
Well, like I said, if she'll send me cookies, I'll invoice her and we'll get it fixed. But no, we can do top level overview, and I can point you in the right direction. If you want to go out here and set it up yourself, you're more than happy to. At the end of the day, if you run into a problem, I know who you're going to call. Your tech pro.
Yep. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you can make them if you have the right stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
You do realize though that they're more meant to keep your germs to yourself, not to keep others from you. Yeah, yeah. Just making sure, like, if you want a real face mask, you need to go with that HIPAA compliant stuff. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part, because if you reuse it anyway, then it's already toast.
Right. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. All
Okay.
right. Sounds good, Dan.
Send me a link to that. I appreciate it, just to make sure that I actually don't sound like a retard on here. All
Oh, you're
right.
good, man. Yeah, you're good. You're great.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys. It was nice to meet y'all.
All right. You take care, Jonathan.
All right.
I'll touch base with you a little later.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Take care, guys. Be safe.
Bye.
All right. Bye.